Okay, y'all. So this month is what month?
Black History Month.
Black History Month. Okay. This week in particular, what have we been working on? What type of people have we been looking at this week?
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and
Now that wasn't this month.
this month.
This week.
Oh,
This week.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, Eli.
All right, let's take turns. Go ahead.
Was
Like any like inventory or something like that.
All right, let's see if your classmate knows the answer.
The last one. But no.
Inventory. What is the correct word?
Like
Benji.
Inventions. Good job.
But the upper person.
Okay, so who makes an invention? What are they called?
Scientists.
Inventors. All right. So who can tell me what this is?
Red light.
Do you know the actual name for it? Because it has a red light, a yellow light, and a green light. Do we know what the actual name of it is?
Stop. Stop at red light. Go slow at yellow light, and go on green light.
Okay, so it's called a traffic light. But you gave a good example of how a traffic light is used.
Yeah.
So what is the importance of a traffic light? Why do you think we need traffic lights?
So we don't run in cars.
Great.
Cars.
Okay.
Other cars.
Right. So to stop accidents. Okay.
I don't
So
like that other one.
what is this item?
A car.
A car. Uh-oh, be careful.
No, he's the one who
Let's
saw
keep
the
our
chair.
chairs on the ground. Okay. So a car. What is a car used for?
Driving.
Driving.
Driving around to get to places fast.
Okay, great. So a car gets us from point A to point B. All right. So what is this item? And I think we went over this
I know.
before. Okay, go ahead.
Something soaker.
All right. Let's ask someone else.
Super soaker.
Super soaker. Good job. So what do you think a super soaker is used for?
Water guns.
All right.
No, use them. to soak.
And what about this item?
TV.
A TV. And what do we use TVs for?
Watching stuff.
All right.
That's the easiest.
And what about this item?
Airplane.
All right. So what is the airplane used
To
for?
go fast. To go in air
To
and
fly
get
in the
places. To go places.
Yep. So an airplane actually gets us to places faster. Okay. So out of all these,
I went on an airplane.
I did.
that's neat.
Twice.
So all these items I just showed you guys, who can tell me what all these items have in common?
They're all invented.
Great. So that means, what does that actually mean? They're all invented.
And they
Someone
all
made
invented.
Someone made it for a purpose, correct?
Yep.
So we know that everything that we use in our everyday lives is someone invented. So the clothes that you have on, the food that you eat, the desk that you sit at, someone invented that for a purpose. All right. So let's look at, what is this?
Potato chips.
All right. So why do you think the potato chip was invented?
To eat.
Okay. What else?
Because they taste good.
Yeah. No.
Why not? I think they do taste
That's a good idea. I think that was a good idea.
No. Because somebody invented them so everybody can snack them.
Have you ever thought about, maybe who invented this potato chip?
We don't know.
Mr. Tighthead.
Potato head? When you're eating potato chips, you never thought, who invented a potato chip?
Lay's.
Potato.
Lay's is a good, that is a good answer. Potatoes is a good answer.
Frank.
Because where does potato chips come from?
Potatoes.
Potatoes, not y'all.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Potatoes.
So today, the inventor we're going to learn about is the person who created the delicious potato chip, and his name is George Speck, also known as George Crum. So we're going to watch a video that actually tells us how this potato chip was made.
That's the potato chip. The potato.
You talking about Crum is here, like a crumb, like a cracker crumb or potato chip crumb?
Well, we'll find out how he got that name from.
Okay.
Crum.
Check to add title. Biscuit.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use grammar.
All right, let's make sure we pay attention.
Here's my
Lines
essay.
up front.
Mr. Crumbs.
So our title, our verb.
And
Hold on, sorry. The title of our story is called The Potato Predicament. So in this story, we're going to actually learn how Mr. Crum created the potato chip.
Crum.
And maybe we'll learn how he even developed the name Crum.
Mr. Crumb's Potato Predicament. Written by Anne Renaud. Illustrated by Felicity Solomon. George Crum loved to cook. He fricasseed and flambéed, boiled and braised, poached and pureed. He made sorbets, soufflés, stews and succotashes, ragouts and goulashes. George loved cooking so much his house ballooned with food. So he opened a restaurant called Crum's Place and hired a waitress with cheeks round as plums named Gladys. George cooked to his heart's content, and his customers devoured his concoctions. Many considered him to be the best cook in the country. That is, until one day, when in walked a peculiar-looking patron. He wore a purple polka-dotted cravat and a sunflower on his lapel.
Filbert P. Horsefeathers is the name.
He trumpeted.
The P stands for punctilious, and I have a hankering for a heaping helping of potatoes.
Just potatoes? Said Gladys.
Just potatoes,
Said Filbert. So, with a swish of his apron and a tap on his chef's hat, George got to work. He cut the potatoes into wedges, boiled them, fried them in a dollop of lard, and sprinkled them with salt. Then Gladys set the potatoes down in front of Filbert Punctilious Horsefeathers. Filbert speared a wedge with his fork and peered at it from all sides.
too thick.
He said, pursing his lips and pushing his plate away. Well, huckberry biscuits, said Gladys. The customer at table 5 is sending his plate back.
Picky,
Muttered George, who had never before had a customer refuse his cooking. So with another swish of his apron and a tap to his chef's hat, George prepared a plateful of thinner wedges, and Gladys set them down in front of Filbert Punctilious Horsefeathers. Filbert speared a wedge with his fork, peered at it, and took a teeny tiny nibble.
Still too thick, and bland as...
You're ungrateful.
Okay, so at this point, if you were Mr. Crum, how would you be feeling? If you're in the kitchen trying your best to cook these potatoes to ensure that the customers like them, but you have this one customer who just comes in and nothing is good enough. He sends his food back 2 times. How would you feel at this particular moment? Mad?
I would just cut into little pieces.
Would you want him to get out?
Yes.
No, I can't buy his
Or
lunch.
would you keep trying to cook for him?
He either get out or he tell me what size he is.
Would you want to be a chef in this particular situation?
Nope.
All right.
I already know.
So let's see. So, what do you think would happen next?
He
Wanted
gonna,
more thinner.
no, he don't limit thinner.
All right, well, let's find out.
He said, rolling his eyes and pushing his plate away. Well, flying flapjacks, said Gladys. The customer at table 5 is sending his plate back again. Fussy, muttered George, who proceeded to cook a plateful of even thinner wedges, this time with an extra splash of salt. When Gladys set the potatoes down in front of Filbert Punctilious Horsefeathers, Filbert speared a wedge with his fork, peered at it, nibbled it, and then took a bean-sized bite.
Still too thick, still bland and undercooked.
he said, puffing his cheeks out and pushing his plate away. Gladys let out a tut-tut and a tisk-tisk and a snort, then picked up the plate and returned to George's kitchen a third time.
This cannot be,
Said George.
everyone loves my spuds. They are scrumptious. They are succulent. They are sublime.
Not according to finicky persnickety.
So at this moment, how do you think he's feeling?
Sad.
Defeated, maybe?
Bad. Yeah. Cause he don't wanna accept his own potatoes he making.
All right.
Filbert punctilious horse feathers, said Gladys. Now, George was known to his customers to be a bit of a prankster, and his daily menu was evidence of his lively sense of humor. To draw a laugh or two, George often listed menu items that were, shall we say, somewhat unusual. Today's specials: stewed skunk in sassafras sauce, pickled possum pancakes, grilled groundhog in croûte. So, in the spirit of playfulness, George took one more potato and carefully balanced it on his chopping block. With his finest, sharpest knife, he slowly shaved it into the thinnest, slimmest, and trimmest of slices. He heated a ladleful of lard in his pan and fried the slices until they were so crispy they crackled, and then he showered them with salt.
Let's see how Mr. Hort.
Do we think he was wrong for this?
He deserved it.
So it's like the customer deserved it?
Yes.
What do you think? You think he deserved it as well?
What?
What George Crum did to the potatoes. Do you feel like he was wrong? Do you feel like he could have went a different way about handling the situation, or did he do the right thing?
Right thing.
All right.
Horse feathers fancies these spuds,
Said George with a wink. With a wisp of a smile, Gladys set the plate down in front of Filbert punctilious horse feathers. Filbert turned the plate this way, then that way. He tried spearing one of the potato slices, but it splintered. So Filbert put down his fork, and with his fingers, he stacked the slices until they teetered. Then he cracked one, and he snapped one. Only after that did Filbert punctilious horse feathers pop one into his mouth.
perfection.
He proclaimed. And before he could say, prickly porcupine pie, Filbert had munched, crunched, and gobbled up every last morsel. I guess the joke is on you, said Gladys when she returned the empty plate to George. Fire up that frying pan one more time. I want to try those for myself. So with a swish of his apron and a tap to his chef's hat, George did exactly that.
So how do we feel like, how do we think George is feeling now?
Happy. Good.
Happy because something that something he got upset about and then tried to turn around and be funny about it, it actually ended up turning good for him.
Why, my taste buds are tap dancing, exclaimed Gladys after sampling George's new creation.
Delectable and delicious,
Declared George after he too ate a few.
I'll call them Crumb's Crisp Krispies and put a plateful on every table.
Word spread, and before long, people from all over the country and far, far beyond were clamoring for George's new concoction, which came to be known as potato chips.
All right, so just to review, who created the potato chip?
Crum.
Mr. Crum.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys some other information that was not mentioned in the video. So George Crum original name is George Speck. Customers inside this restaurant could not get his name correct, so they came up with the name George Crum. So that's why all over the world today he's known as George Crum and not George Speck. He was born in 1824 in Saratoga Springs, New York. So the original name of the potato chip before it became a potato, well, in the beginning when he created the potato chip, he gave the potato chip the name the Saratoga chip, being the fact that the potato chip was created in Saratoga, New York. So in this video, he worked at Moon's Lake House. So at Moon's Lake House, whenever his one potato chip incident helped him create more potato chips, he actually went and opened up his own his own house called the Crum place. Well, not own house, but his own restaurant to create his own potato chips. All right. So we have any questions so far?
No.
Anything you want to add?
Yo, I'm gonna get on food.
Okay. So other things we need to keep in mind as well. So George Crum was an African American inventor. So a lot of these inventions that we see every day, a lot of these inventions may have came from other African American inventions. And one thing that's very particular about George Crum that I like is he is also a Native American. So his parents were not just African American, they were also Native American. So I want to test you guys' knowledge this far, and we're going to play a Kahoot game. Let me get it set up.
You know, did you finish your noodles? You should have been eating while I was we have to. Are we gonna wait on Eli?
All right, Eli, let's get on our computer.
But it's gonna work. Norman Jackson.
All right, so we're going to take out our computer. We're going to go to Kahoot.it. We're going to put this game code in.
No, John.
I make stuff. It does.
But y'all gonna beat us, that's not fair.
And on Friday, we're going to have an actual quiz over all of the inventions that we have been over so far. So right now, I'm just testing you guys to see how much you know this far.
What Kendrick Jackson got feet on? Not fair. Start it. Don't Kendrick Jackson out.
You're out.
All right, are y'all in?
Yeah, but Kendrick Jackson out. Oh, it's Kiera. Not fair.
What did George Crum invent? Was it triangle, ice cream? Was it circle, mashed potatoes? Was it diamond, potato chips? Or was it square, hair products?
Who picked that?
Good job. Diamond, hair products. Potato chips.
Jackson actually did.
All right.
What he did? Make potatoes.
Look at our scoreboard. Okay.
What? I could never put it like that.
What name was George Crum born with? Is it triangle, George Crum? Circle, George Speck? Diamond, George Washington? Or square, Curious George?
What you pick?
I picked this.
All right. The correct answer should be George Speck. Good job.
You got it. I was about to say, Eli, you got it wrong.
All right. George Crum was also a Native American. Is this true or false? True. Good job. What is the original name of the potato chip? Is it Crum chips, the Saratoga chip, French fries, or plain chips?
Huh?
Remember he created the name of Saratoga chip because he lived in Saratoga, New York. So the Saratoga chip. What is the name of the restaurant George Crum worked at?
You can't see.
Moon's Lake House, Chili's, Applebee's, or Crum Central? The correct answer was Moon's Lake House. True or false? Potato chips were invented accidentally.
I picked true.
Good job. True. It's okay we get it wrong. It's not for a grade. It's okay. It's just for me to see what you know so far.
I picked true, but
What is an inventor? Is it triangle, someone who knows how to cook? Circle, someone who invents things as an occupation. Diamond, a teacher. Or square, I don't know. Circle, someone who invents things as an occupation. Good job.
You know, I think you just got passed up. Oh.
All right, number 8. When George Crum sliced the potatoes very thin, he intended to triangle, make the customer angry. Circle. Okay, we got it. The correct answer was make the customer angry.
I would have picked create
That's what he ended up doing, but remember originally that wasn't his goal.
but I didn't know.
That's okay. All right, number 9. George Crum's first restaurant he owned was named Triangle, Moon Lake, Circle, The Chip House, or Diamond, Crum's Place. Good job, Diamond, Crum's Place. All right, and number 10. What does it mean to cut food into long, thin pieces? Is it triangle, to peel, circle, slice, diamond, flake, or square, hammer? So when George Crum made the potatoes into long, thin slices, what did he do to the potato?
Are we gonna do another one?
Good job, circle. Probably on Friday to review again. Okay, let's see our scoreboard. 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place. Good job.
That's it? Can we do blood kit?
Okay. No blicky on today. We'll probably do blicky on Friday, on tomorrow to review for all of our, we'll review all of our mixes on tomorrow. Okay. So what you guys are going to do now that we know who George Crum is and what he created. 1 second.
I thought we were going outside.
No.
Oh, my bad.
I thought we were going outside.
How do I get to the right? Back to the right?
This side. The house. I think this plus at the bottom. To the right. The plus at the bottom to the right.
Oh, okay. Okay, after we complete our assignment, we'll go outside. All right. So what you guys, now that we know who invented the potato chip and the purpose for it in the potato chip, we're going to create our own potato chip flavor. So whenever George Crum created the potato chip, he never created a flavor for his potato chip. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up with 3 ingredients of your own potato chip flavor and a name for that flavor. So the easiest way to think about it is to determine what are your favorite chips. So I grabbed a few of my favorite chips that I will share with you all. So I got Double Crunch hot wings. I like this one because of I love hot wings, the hot flavor, and the crunchy texture. I have this barbecue chip, which has like a sweet and kind of spicy taste to me. And then this plain chip. When I just want a plain chip, sometimes I add hot sauce to it or something. But when I just want a plain chip, I eat those. So think about your favorite chip. And what makes that chip, what is so special about that chip that makes that particular chip your favorite chip? And we're going to come up with 3 ingredients and a name for your chip. So it can be whatever you want to do. Someone had made a potato chip before you even break the food. So bacon, eggs, and grits. So whatever you want to do. So we're going to come up with our 3 ingredients. You can actually draw a picture of what that chip may look like and come up with a name for the chip.
We have to draw a picture?
You don't have to if you don't want to. All right, so the 3rd one is mine. Okay, so I'm going to do mine first. I'm going to create mine first on the board.
Exactly what I need.
Okay, so if I was to create a potato chip, what would I like? So I love hot stuff. So I would create a chip that has hot sauce. I love seafood. My favorite seafood is crab legs. So I'm gonna do a crab leg flavor. And then my favorite part of crab boil is the eggs.
I was gonna use hot sauce.
It's okay, you can use the same ingredients. So I got my hot sauce, my crab legs, and my eggs. So I'm gonna name my chip the crab boil. Okay? Now you can come up with your own 3 ingredients or whatever you want to use. And it can actually be something that somebody else created. Because if you add your own touch to it, it's still your invention, your creation. I'm gonna come around and help you guys. I love that design. So what are you, I see red, what are you want with the red? It's gonna be like a spicy chip? Sweet? What is it? You wanna give me a hint? What?
Okay. It has a beef.
Barbecue? Butter? Okay.
But the barbecue was almost close.
Beef.
Bologna. No.
Yes. What do you want to say?
Alright, so it's coming with 3 ingredients. I said it could be anything you want. Think about your favorite food. What is your favorite food like I did?
Hot and red.
What about Eli? You like noodles? Would you want a trip that tastes like noodles?
Just take the regular chips and just sprinkle the noodle sauce on them.
What about chicken? I know you like chicken too. What about a chicken flavored chip? My chips over there are hot wing flavored. So while you guys are coming up with your flavor, I'm going to let you choose whichever chips you would like. All right. And then maybe as you eat your chips, maybe you'll come up with your flavors. Think about how would you want the chip too? Would you want a smooth chip, a chip with ribs in it? Ribs.
They still didn't guess it.
Nope. Help me out.
It has a bit. The color has a bit white.
And it's off with a B. White with a B.
Butter noodles.
No.
Ketchup.
Are you sure it starts with a B?
Yes.
White with the, I don't know anything white with a B.
It has a white streak in it, and it has red. It has red.
Is it a candy?
No.
Is it a chip already? Is it a type of food? What is it?
It's a type of food.
It's your favorite food, yeah.
And it's white with a red strip? Does the actual food have a red strip, or is the
No. It
the
doesn't
bag?
have a red strip. It has a white strip, but it isn't a bag.
Does it come in a bag or a package? How does it come?
A package.
Okay, just tell me. I'm not sure.
Chalk.
Bacon. Okay. Bacon. How did I forget that? Bacon. Okay, what you have so far? Hot sauce, hot wings. You want to add some ranch with that? Some french fries with that? What you want to add with that? And ketchup. That's a great, interesting mixture.
No, I'm gonna put fries. I'm gonna put ketchup on the side. Cause they're gonna get French fries.
I like pig lips with my potato chips.
Pig lips. That sounds yummy.
And the rich.
All right, so what do we have so far?
Which is the
Does anyone want to volunteer to discuss what they have already? Okay, you can go ahead.
I have ice cream cone, bacon, and Cheetos macaroni.
Ooh, I like that. So our ingredients, you have the first one is ice cream cone. Okay, what is your second ingredient?
Bacon.
Bacon.
I'm trying to find out French fries.
Cheetos macaroni.
Cheetos macaroni. I still haven't tried that macaroni yet.
I already tried it.
Okay, so did you come up with a name for your type?
Junk food chip.
Junk food chip. I love it.
Do you have French fries, Miss Kiera?
I'm sorry, what you say?
French fries.
F-R. They try to sound out as well. E. N. N. What sound? What letters goes the N? Okay. Ch, ch. What two letters goes that ch sound? Okay. And then we got fries. F. What letter gives that F sound? Okay. So about R.
J.
Okay. I. Good job. Okay, so to conclude our lesson for today, what do we think is the most important thing we learned from the George Crum lesson?
Birthday.
You want to volunteer? What is the most important thing that you learned from the lesson today? Okay.
Not try like your
Oh, no, I know.
Are they gonna get mad?
I know.
Okay, so that's a good one. Let's see what your classmate think.
Accidents can make new things happen.
That's a great one. I love that one. Okay, so what about inventors all together? What have we learned this far about inventors?
We learned about who we learned about.
Yep, especially African American inventors. What is the most important thing you learned from all of the African American inventors that we learned about this far?
Leaders.
Okay, they're leaders, and they all create a useful